said there's no doubt you'll surely lose. Go ahead and sing your tune. We didn't listen, stayed right on the truth. And now we're on the right side of the news.
Good morning to the right side of the news. This is Nick Gardner. I'm here with Leslie Sawyer, and we're going to give you the new update on the right side of the news. We're here. We're not gay, and we're proud of it. So we've got lots of things going on today, and one of them, this was just a heartbreaking story this morning I read on Citizens Free Press. Jordan Vandersloot, you remember him? He murdered Natalie Holloway down there in Aruba. He tried to commit suicide in his cell down in the maximum security in Peru. He tried to hang himself with a blanket he tied around his neck and leaned against it, and they barely saved him. Thank God. And he's in a depression because here's his quote, "You can't be with your family. You can't touch them. You can't hug them. Don't you just feel sorry for Jordan?"
So what did he do?
Tried to commit suicide.
No, but what is he in prison for?
Well, he's in prison for, getting money for embezzlement, not embezzlement, but what's that big word I'm looking for? But he's the one that killed Natalie Holloway in Aruba when she went down there with her school with a group of people for probably graduating from high school. And he drugged her, more or less, and took her out and raped her, beat her in the head with a cinder block, and dumped her in the ocean. And they didn't find her for years, get him. And he's just had such, and if he was in Redding, we could take him down to the alternative custody program and rehab him, and he could re-enter society. But he's down in Peru, and those things don't happen down there. Don't you feel sorry for him?
I feel sorry for him for sure. I got a lot of ideas that would save the government a lot of money, whatever government you're at. I mean, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that just cannot be rehabilitated, unfortunately.
Pedophiles.
Yeah.
I've never heard of a pedophile as successful.
I think 80% get caught within a certain amount of time. But then if you figure if 80% get caught, what's, the other 20%, what percentage of them just get away with it?
And when you're talking percentages, you're not talking about a number. I like a number because I remember when the murder rate in Shasta County had gone down by 50% from one year to the next. Paletti was the police chief then.
Yeah.
And they had 2 the year before, and they only had 1 this year.
Oh, right.
So they just, they pat themselves. We cut murder by 50%. That I don't.
It's like a federal program where, say they spent $4 billion and they helped 3 people.
Oh,
so
yeah.
then if they help 6 the next year, they could just be like, we increased, we were 100% more people that we helped.
That's right.
Or they could go to 9 and say we tripled.
I was reading in the paper, online, I don't get the newspaper anymore, there was 18,000 confirmed terrorists that were let across our border during the failed Joe Biden presidency. And 18,000, now that's 360 per state. And Montana and Idaho and those places didn't get their 360, so there's probably a bunch down here in California and a bunch in New York. And they're raising havoc. A lot of these shootings and stuff, I'm convinced, is because of they're actually terrorist attacks.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of them are false flags as well. I think there's a combination. What
do you mean by a false flag?
False flag, you know what a false flag is. It's where you create a scenario that basically, if I were to attack my own business and then play the victim or whatnot.
Oh, okay.
Or a government, say, for the USS Liberty, for instance. I don't know if you're aware of.
Oh,
of
yeah,
that.
Ron Prember has told me about that.
So anyways, there's a history of people being very strategic with, but I'm not saying they're all that way, but there is people that have motives to create a scenario where they.
There's been a couple lately. I recall reading about them.
I mean, I believe 9/11 was, that's my own opinion, but there's a lot of people that would be with me that was a.
You probably believe there's chemtrails and they're doing things in the sky, don't you?
I mean, I know they are.
I'm not sure I brought this up last week.
Go ahead.
There's a new documentary out called Just Look Up.
Just look up? Okay.
Yep, and you go to your search engine and look it up, try and find it. And the one I found was Just Looked Up /screening, free screening. And I clicked on it. It's about an hour and a half. Dane Wigington isn't in it at all. There's about a second and a half picture of him along with other people. But they've got like 10 or 12 different experts talking about it from a different point of view, and they all confirm it. They all say everything Dane's been saying, but it's in a format that isn't
Well, Don't Look Up looks like some weird thing. That's not what you're talking about. Looks like it's got
documentary. You saw the there.
Kid Cudi and
Don't Look Up. Oh, yeah, Just Look Up.
There we go.
But anyway, Leslie's trying to get it on there. It was that's it right there. Yeah. It was it's so good. And,
wow.
And a whole different perspective from a different group of people confirming everything Dane's been saying. But, Dane gets kind of monotonous the way it's just always right in your face. The end of the world's next week. We can't do anything about it. These people have something to say that we can do about it.
Yeah, he's very passionate and it can't be a little bit doom and gloom. But, I mean, the guy is...
he's right on with what he's saying.
He's right on, and I think when you're drowning in that stuff because you dedicate your life to it, you know what I mean? It can be a little wear on you a little bit, but it's hard to keep a positive attitude when you're red pilled. So I've tracked the flights quite a bit, and so
so's this there they show.
Oh, that's awesome.
Here.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
it shows all of that. They've got
a lot of people talk about it being military jets. So I don't know, on ADSB Exchange I track the flights, and then when they fly over and leave these big trails of whatever
man-made
cocktails.
Clouds.
Yeah, they're cocktails of different combinations of. I mean, we know they're spraying nano metals. We know they're spraying polymers. We know they're But anyways,
I think they've got different sprays for liberals and conservatives, and I think they're putting LSD in the liberal spray. It's just a thought.
But anyways. You can pretty much see what plane's flying over and then track it on the radar.
Oh, yes.
99% of the time. Every once in a while, you'll see one that's not on there. I mean, you'll see some Apache helicopters fly over that's military and they're not on there. But you can actually filter out whether you're seeing civilian or military on there. And you can actually see the majority of which I think is kind of crazy. But anyways, I've been videoing and documenting what's flying over and then showing on the radar, the flight tracker, what jet is what. And it's, I have a video of a Chinese plane, Canadian plane, a lot of Alaska Airlines, a lot of Southwest. A lot of these are supposedly passenger planes, but what they're really gutted out with, and they have the tanks inside of them.
I've seen those pictures.
But anyways, so I've only seen about 1 out of 20 is military. I'd say 19 out of 20 as far as we see here when I do quite a bit of documenting on this. But anyways,
this is a different look, and I stress for people who watch this.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
There's one guy, he's on there, and he says, they're spraying this to keep the heat from coming to the earth, but what it does at nighttime, it traps the heat in, and our nights have gotten warmer.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of patents out there, and then there's a lot of misdirection, and I think that I think a lot of it is misleading on what we hear as the cover story for something. You know what I mean? Kind of like kind of like how they say that they are releasing gray wolves into the wild.
They're not gray wolves; they're a hybrid.
Yeah, so they're saying they're releasing these wolves into the wild to restore balance, right? But then you kind of go, well, like, what? Like, really? To restore balance? But anyways, so when there's patents on multiple different things and solar radiation management. Right?
Yes.
So reflecting the UV light back out to space or whatever you want to call it. And And that does make sense. But I think there is more to it. And I definitely think weather control has a lot to do with it. But I think this whole idea that they're trying to keep the planet from warming up is total garbage. Controlling the weather, yes, they can make it rain. They can drought it out.
Worse.
They've absolutely made it worse. And if it had to do with helping us out, they're destroying the pH balance of the soil.
Sure.
And people think that these beetles are destroying the trees. And what's happening is when the trees become unhealthy, then the beetles come and eat them. That's the natural order of things.
Yes.
And so, anyways.
So you touched on patents. Mm-hmm. We could use a patent, and that's what Donald Trump is. He's our patent of our time. The war guy, the guy that goes in and kicks butt. I've got Donald Trump has blockaded Venezuela for oil. Mm-hmm. No oils. He's cutting them off. He's strangling them. Mm-hmm. And I'm all for it because I firmly believe that they played a major part in stealing our election, along with many other elections, but stealing the presidency in 2020, and that was so detrimental to our country. And I think that's part of the motivation for Trump going in there, because you recall cheating the Dominion card that enabled the cheating was created for Hugo Chavez in 2004 so he could cheat and get reelected. Castro had a big hand in it also. And there's a documentary about that that's very interesting. But, with Donald Trump going down there and blowing up them drug boats.
Yeah.
Well, you look at what we're doing about drugs here in the United States. We want to rehab people. We want to get them off drugs. We want to give them a trade. We want them reintroduced to society. And that's fine and dandy. I personally think it doesn't work probably, 70 or 80% of the time. But that's treating the symptoms. Donald Trump is going to the root cause and cutting off the drugs. And that's the difference between him and Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Jimmy Carter, any of those people. He wants to cure the problem. He doesn't want to treat it. And I'm all for that. And I believe that the stolen elections plays into it, along with other things.
Yeah, an ounce of preventative maintenance worth a pound of problem. I'm not as educated on that situation, so I'm not going to weigh in a whole lot on Venezuela. But I just hope whatever is going on over there ends up being good for the people of Venezuela, because I know that they're not doing so. Just your average people are not doing great over there right now.
And why aren't they doing good?
Probably because the government is corrupt, I would imagine.
That's exactly it. Morado, whatever the hell he is.
Madero.
That's him. He's just run that country into the ground.
Yeah.
Kind of what
all
they've
these
done
socialist countries that.
That's kind of what they've done to our country.
Yeah.
40 years ago, you could go out and make a living. Now it's hard anymore, especially small businessmen. They just keep putting on.
Well, this Marxism that's like a plague around the world, has been going on for a long time. I mean, it infected every country in the world almost.
All you've got to do is go to the supervisors' meetings and listen to the failed recall people. They're a bunch of socialists. They want big government. They want us to give them money, give everybody money. Nobody has to work. So I've got this statement from Donald Trump off of his website discussing the Venezuela. I'm going to read it to you. Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. It will only get bigger, and the shock of them will be like nothing they have ever seen before. Until such a time as they return to the United States of America, all the oil, land, and other assets they have previously stole from us. You remember, Hugo Chavez nationalized all the oil companies down there. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't even have an oil economy if Shell, Chevron, these companies hadn't gone down there and developed their oil fields for them. And not as soon, but when Hugo Chavez took over, he gave him the boot. And I can understand that if they were hosing them down and taking all the money and not giving back. I don't know if that was the situation or not. I think it was just greed. Mm-hmm. So we'll go on here. The illegitimate Maduro regime is using oil from these stolen oil fields to finance themselves. Drug terrorism, human trafficking, murder, and kidnapping. For the theft of our assets and many other reasons, including terrorism, drug smuggling, and human trafficking, the Venezuelan regime has been designated a foreign terrorist organization. Therefore, today I am ordering a total and complete blockage of all sanctioned oil tankers going into and out of Venezuela. The illegal aliens and criminals that Maduro regime has sent into the United States during the weak and inept Biden administration are being returned to Venezuela at a rapid pace. America will not allow criminals, terrorists, or other countries to rob them, threaten them, or harm our nation, and likewise will not allow a hostile regime to take our oil, land, or any other assets, all of which must be returned to the United States immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. He's sticking up for us and our country, and I can't thank him enough. And he's going to go in on land, and he's going to knock out these terrorist people that are producing the drugs. And then he's going to go to Mexico, I hope. And I believe that the Mexican people, the people like us that live in the rural Mexico, will be happy to have their country cleaned up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think all that stuff is great. I want to see some action right here at home, though. I understand all that stuff affects us, but I mean, can we get rid of the income tax already?
Oh, where was it? I should have copied this down.
I had a bunch of people telling me that it was going to be done with, and it was already a done deal. But I'm still waiting for the income tax to be abolished.
Well, I wouldn't hold my breath. But you know, Florida has done away with. They don't have an income tax. They don't have property taxes. They don't have a sales tax.
No.
And they're doing well.
That hasn't happened.
I think it has.
Well, there's federal income tax.
Oh, that's federal. I said Florida state income taxes is what I meant.
Gotcha.
I might not have said it. Maybe I didn't articulate it the way I should have.
I don't believe that they got rid of the. Oh, you're saying the property tax? Did you say that one?
Yes.
I knew they were working on it. They haven't approved it yet, though, have they?
Well, the paragraph I saw said they had.
Gotcha. Well, if that's true, I might move to Florida, to be honest, because if they really do, if they have, I don't want to leave California, but you know, there is no state, unless Florida has done it. I mean, seriously, how can you own a piece of property? That's one of the things, that you can't own something that gets taken away from you if you don't pay taxes. Because if I want to retire, then you still have to make money. Like, you can't just save up your money, buy something, and live frugally. Because if you have a ranch that's assessed at $1 million, I mean, that's still 10 grand you got to come up with a month just so your property doesn't get taken from you.
And school bonds for a failed school system.
And you got to give a little bit of money to the mosquito board. It's not much, but
well, you know, I appreciate them.
Right.
I said quite a while ago, you know, if they want to punish it, just get rid of that vector control.
And that's fine. You're putting into a service that
is benefiting everybody.
It's benefiting, but as far as the property tax goes, I think like I've said it a bunch of times, I don't want to be repetitive, but I think it's BS. And everybody should be able to own one piece of property without having to pay property tax and without it being taken from you if you don't pay a tax on it.
How about if you go down and pay cash for a car? Why should you have to pay to register it?
And
all the other things that go along with it. There's
it's simple. You just pay for how much fuel you use, and however much fuel you buy is there's already a tax on that, and that, depending on how much you drive, is how much fuel you buy or electricity you use, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So you base it on that, and so however much you drive, you're paying a certain amount. If you drive 10 times more than your neighbor, you pay 10 times more for road maintenance. It's simple.
Well, that's the way it is. You know, I read where the state and the feds kind of made a big mistake when they made the road tax. I think it's 18% for the feds and somewhere around 25 or 30% for the state. No, cents, 18 cents.
Yeah.
And 25 or 30 cents for the state. That's besides the carbon tax that we voted in. instead of having it a percentage. So when gas went up, their sales tax stays the same, and they didn't get an increase.
Yeah.
That's why, in my opinion, they're going to come up with a mileage tax to add on to make the electric cars pay their fair share for road maintenance.
Yeah.
But they're gonna feather it on over to us also because they'll get more money.
And we're just going to have to track everywhere you go, always, no matter what. Right?
Oh,
Think
yes.
about it. Because
Oh,
if they're going
yes.
to be able to track how many miles you go, they're going to know everywhere you went. Which, if you have your smartphone on, you have your health tracker, most people are already opted into that system. I drive an older truck. I don't use my debit card for $2-3 everywhere I go. I turn all the settings off. Obviously, if somebody in the federal government or a hacker wanted to like really see where I was, you can't even turn your phone off and get out of that. But most people are opted into being tracked all the time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And they don't even know it.
You're actually probably one of only, I don't know too many people that don't have a cell phone. You might be the only one I can think of that doesn't have a cell phone. Even pretty much everybody has a smartphone.
Yes. Well, I didn't get one, and I'm glad I didn't get one. People are just, that's all they want to do is sit. I sit down. I went to the downtown Reading Marketplace. What a nice thing that is. I was really impressed. But, people are sitting there looking at their cell phone, and I'm sitting there looking at people. And once in a while,
It's a major, major addiction.
Gosh, yes.
It's
And that's a hammer that they'll pull one day. If the internet ever goes down, people are just going to go nuts. There's people that can't hold a conversation anymore.
Have you seen these electric?
There's people that wish I couldn't.
Have you seen these electric vehicles explode? And have you seen that kind of stuff?
Well, I've seen it on the internet, the fires. I haven't seen them explode.
Yeah. Well, they can definitely explode, and their fires are very powerful fires.
And
If
now
that's-
they're wanting to put those batteries in homes.
Yeah. I've got a video that if you go and talk for about a minute, I can find a video, and it's just a AA battery, right? And the guy takes apart the AA battery, unravels the
What's inside of it?
The lithium foil, right?
Okay.
That's what's inside of it. Throws it into a tub of water, and it freaking explodes.
Oh, gosh.
The lithium, and if you watch how they make those lithium-ion batteries in the factories, they have it in a big dunk tank of some kind of liquid. It's not water, because water's not good, but they have some kind of liquid. I'm not sure what it is. It's definitely not water. And I guess I could do some research on that and probably figure it out pretty quick. But anyways, they have it's a big grate, and they have the battery. And then when they're putting it together, I have a video of one that starts just igniting. They hit this emergency button, and it drops into this crazy liquid that they have.
Puts it out.
And puts it out. But they're very, very, very dangerous. And my theory is that if you look at what happened when those pagers and cell phones started going off with, I think, was it Hezbollah or
Israel.
Hamas?
Israel.
Well, yeah, the IDF and Mossad was.
They did it on purpose.
They did it on purpose. Absolutely, they bragged about
sharp.
it. They bragged about it. For sure.
They set it up years and
they
years
say-
in advance.
So they say that it was that there was explosives in those devices, and I actually think that they can do that with the lithium-ion batteries that are in the devices.
Oh, I have
I
no
don't think
doubt.
they actually need to plant explosives in them.
Well, we had that battery fire down in Moss Landing, and it was catastrophic, and they shut it up after about 3 or 4 days, and it had a cloud.
Oh, there
of-
we go. There's a.
Hey guys,
She's got a
I'm
video
Nate.
here.
Welcome back.
Much.
Oh, here he goes. He's going to tell us all about it.
Well,
But I'm not a big fan of
of what?
to the King of Random. Today
Video?
we're going to be
Electric-
trying.
electric cars. None of it. It's just a big money maker for corporations, and our corrupt politicians go along with it. They won't listen to logical thinking about it until it's just shoved down their throats and they can't hardly breathe anymore. And then all of a sudden, oh yeah, I'm all for that. We've got some interesting things going on locally. The city of Reading has hired a new city manager, and they went out of the area. And I didn't think much of it, but I got some information that this guy's the guy they wanted because he's not afraid to do some cutting and some budget cutting and maybe some layoffs and whatever it's going to take to get our budget under control. By the way, that reminds me, the budget cutting meeting is what I call it. They had some fancy words for it. For December 18th at 2:30 at the City Hall, that's tomorrow, has been canceled. And they haven't given another date for it to come on. So that's and they canceled it at the last minute. I don't think it's even out publicly yet. But I was planning on going to it. I know other people that were planning on going to it.
Well, what was the reason for that?
Canceling it?
Yeah.
The information they got from the city treasurer probably wasn't accurate, or they didn't get enough.
Oh, gotcha.
That they weren't satisfied with the numbers that came forward. In fact, I told you, I understand we're going to be in trouble for 6 or 8 years, and it might amount to $40 or $50 million over 6 or 8 years deficit. We need to rehire Barry Tippin. He sat there and said, let there be no mistake. There's no deficit. Barry, come back and save us, would you?
Right? Oh, my gosh.
So anyway, it's pretty interesting. And Erin Reisner has declared that she's going to run for Kevin Cry's seat, District 1 for the Shasta County Supervisors. And I've yet to find an accomplishment of Erin's.
We'll just go to her website and you can see it.
Well, I see that she's taking credit for other people's accomplishments. You know, she was all against Tanessa, that Tanessa didn't know what she was talking about when there's a deficit. And she switched sides now.
Wait, who switched sides?
Erin. Erin says there's no deficit. Tanessa doesn't know what she's talking about. All 4 of the other ones up there.
And she was with Tanessa?
No, no.
No, what do you mean she switched sides, though?
4 counselors are up there, city councilors were against, said that Tanessa didn't know what she's talking about. There was no deficit.
Yeah.
Your numbers are wrong.
100%.
Okay. Well, now they've switched sides. Now they say, oh, well, we have a deficit.
Oh.
But they won't give Tanessa credit for it.
Oh, gotcha.
And Erin's leading the charge like she's got a way of taking credit for things that maybe she didn't do. So that's going to be interesting when they do have that meeting, if they have that meeting. I found that they probably don't want us knowing what's really going on quite often.
Yeah, I mean, they don't want a well-informed, critical thinking citizens. You know, I mean, no, if you think about it, I mean, how much easier does it if you just get to do what you want and everything's rubber stamped and nobody asks any questions or pays attention? I mean, it's a lot easier to be in a position of power and just do whatever you want versus
I'm the boss. We'll tell you what to do.
Yeah, there's been a lot of arrogant statements like that from many people that have done some shady things, and they just say, well, we know better than the dumb peasants.
Oh,
so
we won't do that next time. Sorry, move on.
Yeah.
You know, Matt Plummer and Alan Long strike me as that type of people. They know what's best. And, boy, let us have some say.
Yeah, if you don't pay attention, then,
I noticed that before Kevin Cry got elected, we had Mary Rickert, we had Dave Keogh, we had Leonard Modi, we had Les Ball, and who was the other? Joe Clemente. And I've got to say, Joe Clemente would sit there and listen to every comment.
yeah.
But the other ones, you could see them on their cell phones up there. And just, your 3 minutes are up, thank you, and go back to their cell. Your 3 minutes are up. It's just so rude.
I think sometimes they're on their phones, they're texting people saying, oh, yeah, go get this guy. And not like kill them, but like attack their business or, things like that.
Well, they definitely do that. I know that during the COVID, a news cafe had a list of businesses not to go to because of, not to patronize, because they supported not wearing masks.
Yeah. Well, when I got appointed to the mosquito board, the agriculture department was in my investigators were at my business the very next day.
Really?
And yep, the very next day, and they came in and they go, well, it was a lady actually. She's actually really nice, and she came. And then they came back with a couple different people about a week later, and then I got harassed for a little bit of time. But anyways, she came in, and very nice lady. I got to know her okay, and she's okay. She was just doing her job. She actually, I like her, but she came in and she goes, John Knight, I'm looking for. Well, she came in and I said, hey, how can I help you? And she goes, I'm looking for John Knight. And I said, I'm John Knight. And she goes, I'm with the agricultural department, investigation, blah blah blah.
City, county, state?
County.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, you know, how can I help you? And she goes, well, and I said, Mary sent you, huh? Because the day before,
Mary Rickert.
Mary was very mad that I got appointed to the mosquito board.
Instead of the liar Donnell Ewert.
Yeah, she was very, very mad. And so anyway, she just said, she goes, well, no, my boss sent me here, but it might have had something to do with what happened yesterday. And so anyways, it was a shakedown, whatever. So anyways, like I'm saying, while I'm up there saying my piece, she's on there
Well,
texting people like, hey, go harass John.
You had Don Duckett and Susan Barrymore texting Mary Rickert questions to ask.
Yeah, no, for sure. I
Well,
mean,
didn't they go down to you about because they thought you were selling some illegal chemicals or some darn thing?
Yeah, and I did have some. To be honest, so here's the thing. Even though it's an organic product, if you have one that says per acre on it, right? So say I have a size that's like, say, a quart size, and it says use an ounce per gallon.
Okay.
Okay. If it says use this much per acre, it falls into the same, a different category to where you have to have a dual use license that I didn't have.
But it's the same product.
It's the same product. So they're like, hey, you can't have this. You can't have that on there. You can't have this on there.
So did you just get a Sharpie and cross that out?
No, but I told people about their products. You know, I said, hey, and they were like, we've never heard this before.
Yeah, sure.
And-
but they found a little technicality they could come and harass you on.
Yeah. And there is some things that are on the you have to keep up to date on things, and you know, but yeah, I mean they legitimately, I had some things on there that if anything that says per acre, you have to have a special license for, which I wasn't aware of.
Did you get a special license?
No, I haven't. I didn't do it. It was easier for me to pull those specific products off.
Sure.
Because I've been really busy, and it's a very small percentage of my business so it was more beneficial just not to sell those products than it was to jump through the hoops. And then they want you have to keep track of everything and have paperwork filled out. So every time a person buys that product, you have to have them fill a form out.
Yes.
And then you've got the ag department that's going to come in and look at your sales, and you got to prove where you sold what and all that stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? This isn't really worth it. I'd rather it's less than 1% of my business. So
You know those vitamins you gave me?
yes,
Outstanding. I am feeling more energy.
yeah,
I'm not getting as tired as I used to since I've started. It took about, I don't know, maybe a week and a half.
oh, okay, yeah.
And I feel like I have more energy. I'm not getting as tired as I used to. And I think the benefits are just starting to hit me. I think it's Calvary is the name of it.
No, I don't know if I gave you the immune support. I think I gave you the
I've got the immune support also, but
Oh,
you
okay.
know, I was sick. and
The Vitalize Plus.
the Calvary's, okay, that's right.
The Vitalize Plus is there. That one has 102 different ingredients in it. There's nothing else like it. I mean, have you been taking it full strength or half strength, or
I've been taking 3 in the morning, and if I remember, 3 at night.
so okay, and
That's
then every
not
day,
full-
or just when you remember?
I've been taking them in the morning every day.
Every day, 3 in the
Yes.
morning. Yeah. So
Yes.
the total dosage is 8. So I take 4 a day, but some days I don't take it at all. But even if you take it at the dosage I do, now just remember, consult a physician if you're going to take any supplements. Period. You're supposed to.
If it's going to cost him money, he's going to tell you not to take it.
Well, legally, you have to on our end, you have to recommend
Suggest that
you
talk to-
consult a physician, and that's absolutely what you should do. But anyways, there's also, with 102 ingredients, you also have to, some people have a lot of allergies. Somebody I know has it's an enzyme from a pineapple that he's allergic. He used to live on a pineapple farm,
And he OD'd on it.
He OD'd on the pineapple, but there's, different. I don't have any food allergies, thank goodness. I mean, there's no shellfish, there's no peanut type, there's none of the major allergy stuff. But obviously, you got to do your due diligence. You got to get on the website,
Sure.
LibertyLabs.store. You can
Is
also
that where you buy it?
LibertyLabs.store is the easiest way to get there. You can also get there LibertyLabsSupplements.com, but LibertyLabsStore.com is easier to get there. But if you take 4 a day like I do, that's $1.25 a day.
Well, I'm impressed. I've taken a
so-
lot of vitamins, and this is the one where I can really say I feel
It's
it.
all in one. You don't have to take anything else. I like to take the magnesium one because I have a lot of aches and pains. But the problem is with that product is that it helps with sleep recovery so much that I'm sleeping like 4, maybe 5 hours now. And I don't know if I like that because I went to bed at 9 o'clock last night and I was up by 1 o'clock. And I'm just like, what the heck, 1 o'clock? Like, I like sleep. I like my dreams. I like my sleep. And so
What dream do you like the best, John?
That's funny.
I had a wet dream the other day, but it was dry.
That's funny.
Anyway, this is great. I really would suggest you give these a try. At least buy one bottle and go through the one bottle and see if you see a change. I'm sure you will. And I don't bring this up to get people to buy it. I bring it up because it's a product that worked for me.
I've told everybody, don't promote it if you don't believe in it.
Yes.
And so far, we've had a few people that, if you take something once, it took you about a week and a half.
Yes. I was sick. I was recovering from this stuff that's going around.
Yeah.
And I used the Calvary, and that, I don't know whether it helped me recover or not because I was on the upswing already. It takes you about a month to get over it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's getting a little better every day. So I can't tell you whether the Calvary helped or not. Probably did. If it helped as much as the Vitalize, I'm sure it did.
You'll notice if there's a really bad bug going around that you'll take that stuff and it will not take hold, and we're exposed to so many things now these days. It seems like the healthiest people are getting sick all the time, and that's a whole nother the environmental things that we're exposed to. That's a really long conversation.
There's a lot of things beating our
it doesn't
immune
matter
system
how
down.
clean you are. I'm very clean person as far as what I put in my body. But I mean, it doesn't matter if you're at the top of the food chain with the inputs you put into your body. We're all exposed to things every day, regardless of how much you thought you put into it and effort you into being as clean as you can. You're definitely gonna benefit from detoxing on a daily, and this has everything in there to detox, give you complete nutrition. I mean, gut health, brain health. I mean, it's an all-in-one package. I do the Vitalize and the
Do you have one that's extra strength brain health for libertards?
no, but this will work on its own. I do this in the high velocity at half strength just because I like that extra boost of energy, and then I do the magnesium at night, and then the Cavalry is one that I only take if I start feeling sick or something like that.
Listen, we're running out of time, so I want to run this one more thing by you. I wanted to get permission to use your studio here in Leslie. I want to put out a video that'll be played on my show, Poke the Hornet's Nest. Any show anybody else wants to play. I want to concentrate on the mistakes that Joanna Francesca made at the elections, the last two elections she was in charge of. That would be 2022 and 2024. And the one I highlighted last weekend was the draw that Laura Hobbs has had a lawsuit against because they didn't do it correctly. And a lot of people didn't understand that, so I'm going to explain it real quick in a nutshell. The Secretary of State makes a draw. She puts all 26 letters of the alphabet in a tumbler or writes it on a pull or ping pong balls or just whatever, and reaches in there blind and pulls out a letter. And that's the letter you start with. In this case, it was a G. And what they do is they list the candidates in alphabetical order on their last name after that letter. So it was G. The next letter is Hobbs. Laura Hobbs should have been number 1.
Yeah.
Alan Long, he was the next letter. He should have been number 2. Dan Sloan was the next letter, S. It should have been number 3. And Suzanne Barrymore, it went all the way around the circle, and
Yeah.
she would have been number 4. And statistics show that a lot of people just check the first one and go. And Laura only needed, I think, 8 votes
Yeah.
to go to a runoff. And Joanna Francesca admitted that she made that mistake. So I'm just wanting to point out the mistakes that
Yeah.
were made. And I'm soliciting people that went and observed the elections, and you were one of them. We'll get them on there. And I'm not interested in well, they cheated here and they cheated there. I'm interested on how you were prohibited from observing what was going on. I couldn't see, I'm just making this up, I couldn't see the ballots because there were boxes in my way. And I wasn't able to see that it was done correctly.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to have a few people call in here and tell us their observations on why they couldn't observe the elections, and the transparency wasn't there like it should be. So we're satisfied our elections are fair and honest.
Absolutely. Yeah, you could obviously you can use this place anytime you want. Just,
Thank you.
I mean, and that, yeah, that's what this
I
place is
believe
for.
we can put together a half hour or so video
We'll make it as long as you want.
and just show people this is what went on. I'm not saying she cheated, but I'm saying that the transparency wasn't there.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up one. Did you see the last Shastanon video?
Oh, I did. Go ahead, tell us about it.
Well, I didn't want to get too far into it. I mean, is it Shastanon.com or how do you get it?
ShastaAnon.com.
ShastaAnon.com. They just did one that tied into Shasta Exposed and
Yes.
who was behind that, and then it had Joanna in there, all kind of tied in. So, anyways, I just wanted to give a shout out to Shasta Anon. ShastaAnon.com. They do really good work. We need to get them more exposure because
It's less than a 5-minute video.
Oh yeah, I think it's like 3 or maybe 4 at the most. It's
Yes.
a very short video.
But it points out, you know,
and all those
what's this group all about?
Yeah.
You know, you see these things that come out, but you don't know who's behind it.
I think that video right there looks like it was from Red, White, and Blueprint. But
Also,
I'm okay with that if it is. I think that anybody can use that stuff.
Also, there's a new news online news source for Redding, California. It's called Shasta Unfiltered, and it is the most honest one I've seen. Jerry Sanchez put it together. Margaret Cantrell's
Yep.
on it, if you know who she is.
Yep, and Mike Hernandez.
And there's honest people on it giving you the honest side of what went on.
And how do you find them?
ShastaUnfiltered.org, I believe.
Okay.
If
We'll
.org,
look that up. Leslie, if you could look that up, and then we'll put it in the comments.
I even wrote a letter to the editor, and they printed that. And it's there it is.
ShastaUnfiltered.com. There
That's
it is.
it right there.
Boom. Wow, their website looks really good.
Oh yes. Well, Jerry, he spent. He was a journalist and spent time. There he is, right there. And it would be worth your trouble to go to that and get an honest view on some of the local things that are going on around here, and also some national. So let's call it a wrap.
All
I
right.
got to go to work. Hey, thanks for
me too.
tuning in. We're going to have something special on Poke the Hornet's Nest. We're on KQMS now. Let's see, 105.7, 1670 AM. And it's at 9 o'clock now. Kevin's on at 8 o'clock. Last week he had Jackson Baker on talking about the Peak subdivision and their lack of a corridor out of there. If there's a fire or something, well worth going to. Just go to kqms.com and click on podcasts. Peace, love, and
Clint Curtis was appointed to the position of ROV. In the aftermath of that appointment, liberal groups, as well as Antifa, organized their opposition. When open protest failed, the opposition took a clandestine turn in the form of an anonymous website called Shasta Exposed. Though still relatively unknown, the group has garnered some notable attention among the political community for their in-your-face tactics and anonymity. But they recently made a tactical error, and their identity is about to be revealed. In July of 2025, a domain name was registered anonymously for ShastaExposed.com. The website is hosted by GoDaddy and uses its Arrow platform. Arrow is an AI tool that generates websites on the fly, including logos and blog posts, and is marketed towards non-technical users. The site itself is a hodgepodge of articles covering different topics from a left-wing perspective, criticizing local conservatives, with a special focus on Clint Curtis. Analysis of the site using AI detection tools show that most, if not all, of the content may be generated by AI. The group maintains a mailing address at a Staples in Chico, where it utilizes a mail forwarding service to remain anonymous. The group has a store on their website where they sell anti-Trump merchandise, including a $30 Antifa hoodie. The group has an anonymous Facebook page, which has about 500 followers, including Joanna Franciscan, and they share her content on their page, as well as posts from Nathan Pinckney and Lisa Jensen. The group criticizes local conservatives, including SCOE board member Arthur Gorman, who also works as a nurse. The subject of nursing is a frequent topic on the group's Facebook page, providing a potential clue to the identity of Shasta Exposed. But the group's main focus is Clint Curtis, who they write about extensively, even analyzing pictures from his family gatherings. In August, the group advertised a protest against Curtis and said that the gloves were off. Things escalated further in October when the group posted a sign that depicted a gun pointed at Clint Curtis's name. The gun comes from the cover of a documentary about Curtis from 2008, but the author manipulated the image to have it point at Curtis's name, which some saw as a threat. Supervisor Matt Plummer called on the group to take the posters down and said the signs were reckless and unacceptable. A few weeks later, Clint Curtis sent a letter to the Secretary of State outlining his new election procedures, as well as the threats he's allegedly received. In one incident, someone allegedly scratched a death threat on his car, and in another, they allegedly left a Shasta Exposed business card in his windshield to send a message. On October 30th, Shasta Exposed filed paperwork to become an LLC. That paperwork was prepared by Zen Business, a company that provides low-cost business services. The listed agents are Dana Fong, Zhong Lai, and Khaled Safi, who work for Zen. But the filing also listed a principal organizer with a local address, and it is here that the group made a fateful mistake. The person behind Shasta Exposed is a woman named Jennifer Katsky, who lives in Reading. Katsky was born in 1977 in Ohio. Her father was a noted cardiologist who moved the family to San Jose, where she spent her childhood. Katsky studied nursing at Baylor University in Texas and worked at several hospitals before coming to Reading in 2020. This aligns with Shasta Exposed's interest in nursing, as well as their fixation with Arthur Gorman, who is a co-worker of Katsky. The politics of Shasta Exposed also align with Katsky's social media history, which shows a clear anti-Trump bias. When Katsky moved to Shasta County, she brought her politics with her and is now doing all she can to make Shasta County, just like the Bay Area she left behind. Clint Curtis says he will be reporting the alleged acts of intimidation against him to the FBI and Department of Justice. Those allegations, if sustained, carry with them serious penalties. While an LLC offers some protection against civil lawsuits, it doesn't offer any protection against more serious charges. And Katsky may later regret unmasking herself